So the topic is I titled it Solo Flight or Fighting Solo, and it's about the art of solo parenting. And most of the information in my talk this morning is based on experience, aside from the information that I got from various sources. Okay, so just what Ma'am Liza mentioned a while ago, when you're a single parent, you have a lot on your plate. So parenting with a partner is challenging enough, just like what Ma'am Mero has mentioned also a while ago. But living life as a single parent is even tougher. So in fact, single parents, both moms and dads, wake up every morning to new challenges. And being single parent or being a single parent and at the same time a student come with its own unique challenges. And it takes a lot of courage, patience, and compassion to get through the day. And it's not always easy to stay positive. Being and thinking positively is not enough. So today, I will be sharing with you some common challenges we solo parents and single parents encounter every day, and some common ways and tips to keep moving forward on your single parent journey. Okay, so before we start, let me show you or present to you who are considered as solo parents here. So this is based on the Solo Parent Act of 2000, which will be discussed later by Ma'am Rina. And yeah, solo parent is any individual who falls under any of the following categories. So medyo damo-damo hiya, and later i-discuss man ini. So a woman who gives birth as a result of rape and other crimes against chastity, even without a final conviction of the offender, provided that mother keeps and raises the child. So another is parent left solo or alone with the responsibility of parenthood due to the following circumstances. So five common single parent challenges here. So first is child rearing, which will be about parenting and raising a child, financial strain, economic burden, emotional distress or emotional responses towards single parenting, parent-student challenges, or the balancing between solo parenting and studying, and finally social stigma, the society's discrimination and disapproval towards solo parent. But before I move on to the first challenge of being a single parent, let me also tell you that there's a big difference between solo parent and single parent. So here it is. By the way, I will be focusing not just on solo or single moms kasi we are not sexist here. So both female and male parents. So single parents are those who raise their children alone as a matter of choice, and they do not have a partner to raise their children. So that's how I categorize myself. Solo parents may not be doing so as a matter of choice and may be alone for a period of or a brief period until their partner returns. So they are those who were divorced, widowed or widower, have partners who have been deployed for a long period of time, and they could be moms or dads who are not co-parenting with the father or mother of their child or children, but who are in some kind of relationship. Kumbaga, they are not cohabitating, they are not co-parenting. So there, that is the difference between, or those are the differences between the two words. Child rearing can be difficult under any circumstances. So without a partner, the stakes are higher. Sa ring pangani ni Ma'am Mero kanina, bisan nga ni may ada ka partner, it's very difficult to raise a child. How much more if you are alone? So as a single parent, you might have sole responsibility for all aspects of day-to-day childcare. Being a single parent can result in added pressure, stress, and fatigue. So if you're too tired or distracted to be emotionally supportive or consistently discipline your child, behavioral problems might arise. And imagine if you are a solo parent living alone or living away from your parents, imagine your life. It's very chaotic. Okay, so first in child rearing is the decision part or decision making part. So making decisions solo. So you have to talk to someone who is also a parent. Pwede nga diri hiya solo parent, pwede nga basta bisan hino nga parent, because kumbaga at the end of the day, you have to remind yourself that no one is perfect. You'll know if you are doing something right because it will show in your child's behavior. So you could also ask your parents or friends for suggestions for you to weigh things easier in terms of making decisions. Because it's not really easy to decide on your own. Okay, so just remember that you have to decide based on your child and yourself's welfare. And eventually, you will learn to trust that things are doing to work to see the decision making as an honor. Imagine if you will be deciding, kumbaga, part nga magde-decide ka kung diin mo papa-eskwelahon it imo anak, you have no one to ask except an imo instinct and except an imong mga napapakianhan nga iba nga tao. Pero again, you always have to decide kung ano ang mas maupay parahan imo anak. Another is instilling discipline in children. This is actually one of my struggles before, ang medyo guti-guti pa ang akong baby kay I was thinking how am I going to instill discipline to my child kung hiakula. Ngay ako mismo, sometimes I don't even have that discipline. Okay, so, but don't let the challenges of being a single parent exhaust you. You always have the choice to engage your extended family to act as an authority figure to counter the absence of other parents. So, anyway, it imo family or it imo parents can definitely help you discipline your child or your children. Okay, so medyo dirihiya sugad hito madali, especially that you don't know where to stand kung magiging strict ka or magiging lenient. Kasi there are a lot of siring pa mga kinahanglan i-consider, like if you become too strict to your child, bagabagan feeling mo maharayo-hiyahay mo, and kung maging too lenient ka naman, you will be afraid nga bangin maging spoiled ani mo bata. Okay, pero the trick there is to do everything in moderation and always remember that you are not alone bisan pa siguro naging tatawag ka nga solo or single parent ka. Okay, next, positive strategies. Show your love. Remember that it's always important to praise your child. So give him or her your unconditional love and support. So make time each day to play, read, or simply sit with your child. That is one way of assuring them that even if you are alone raising them, you are there for them and your love is full. So there was even a time when I was too busy before doing my job as an instructor, at the same time having side hustles, when I always tell my daughter nga, anak, give mama time to work so that we can buy milk. Masaring ka makakabay kita milk for you. And then she was crying and she was telling me, Mama, di rin nala ako ma-drinking milk. So that moment was very heartbreaking for a mother who just want to try to give all the best for her child. Pero na-realize ko nga, yeah, it's not really about money nga imo pwede hatag ka imo bata. You always have to have time for them. And there are even times na masaring ito, Mama, watch Mickey Mouse with me. And I always tell her, I am very busy, anak, nasaring tiya nga. Just sit with me and that's okay. So there, malingkod la ako and doing nothing, bisan diyan ako magyakan basta agka ko tiya sapit and she feels better. Okay, so another is create a routine, a structured one, such as regularly scheduled meals and bedtimes, and it helps your child know what to expect. Pero when you do this, when you create a routine, remember nga you have to, kumbaga, to do it consistently. Kasi kids are, saring pa maghinumdumon ito hira, nanunukot ito hira kung anong imugin saad ha ira. And another is you have to set limits. Explain house rules and expectations to your child, such as speaking respectfully, and enforce them. So, when you set a rule, you also have to follow. So, when you set a rule nga no cell phones on the table, you also have to follow. Ikaw mismo, kay you have to set yourself as an example. So, work with other caregivers in your child's life to provide consistent discipline. So, if you are too young and if you are a first-time mom or father to your child, you can always ask your parents. Kasi I really believe and agree nga nasa rin hira, there's no handbook to parenting. It's always, or kumbaga, it comes with your instinct, maternal or paternal instinct. Okay, so asya nga nasa rin ako always it akong mga nakakaistorya, don't worry, you can actually handle it once you're already in the situation. Okay, so another is consider re-evaluating certain limits such as your child's screen time when he or she shows the ability to accept more responsibility. Kasi haya na nga panahon, because we are too busy, bisan ang student or ang working moms, working solo parents or single parents, sometimes kumbaga, ang tawag in lieu of your time, you sometimes let your child uh, watch video or ani mo cellphone din papahuram mo na la kay para la mapacify kung halimbawa nagta-tantrums or kumbaga siring pa medyo nagsisina mo ka imo, but don't do that kasi mahigagara ang imo bata. Again, you have to evaluate and re-evaluate the limits that you give to your child, including screen time, kasi there are studies that affect the behavior of the child kung masyado hira nga exposed or masyado hira nga babad uh, cellphone or computer. Okay, and the last for positive strategies in child rearing is don't feel guilty. And no matter what we do, may ada good guilt feeling if you are a solo parent, especially if the decision was by choice. Kasi there are others nga, di ba, nasaring nga, they become solo or single parents because they did not choose to be. Kumbaga, gimbayaan hira or namatay an ira asawa or an ira partner. Pero in my case, I'm putting myself, I'm putting myself here, ha, kay, in my case, the decision was, it was a personal choice. I never wanted to get married and I only wanted a child. That's why I decided that I want to become a solo parent. So, still, nasering nga, don't blame yourself or spoil your child to make up for being a single parent. But there is, until now, there is a time or there are times, sometimes nga masering ako nga, I blame myself nga posible nga diri magkamay dahin complete family it akon anak because I think too much about myself na gusto ko lang magkamay anak. Pero again, it's not about that. It's about the love that you can give to your child na kumbaga mapupunuan ang duha nga kumbaga nga image of parents para haimo anak. So it's how you do it. It's not about what other people will tell you or will dictate you. So, ito na akong gitsisiring permi nga. This is my decision and bisan pa ngun nga it sounds selfish for as long as I can give everything to my child from financial, emotional, and all the love in the world, then I guess that her future is secured. Okay. So, financial strain. So, this is actually the greatest challenge probably, especially haya na nga panahon that we are in a limited kumbaga limited it aton gios tanan. So financial strain. So you have to work with other caregivers about this, especially budgeting. So stress and anxiety about money might kumbaga arise, especially if you're a student and you don't know where to get the money from. So what you can do is you can create a budget plan and explore ways to make money such as online business. Kasi there are online sellers man that they don't even have capital. Kumbaga, pwede ra makapagbaligya bisan wala capital. Pero make sure nga diri mako-compromise ang imo other tasks. Okay, so save for the short and long term. No matter how big or small the amount is, just ensure to save. Kasi it's not just for you but also for your child. Okay, so when you are able to create a budget plan, that way, after a month, pag makita mo kung hingainan imo kwarta, maaram ka na kung aanhon mo next time or next month ang pag-budget. Okay, so that's the importance of listing down all your expenses kay para maaram ka kung paano. Especially with a limited budget. Kasi may masaring, paano ka magbabudget kung waray igba-budget? And that's the exact reason why you have to explore ways to make money. Okay? So, providing stability. Okay, remember this and don't forget that what your children need most is love and security, among others. Okay? So, bisan pasid mo nga ikaw as a mother, medyo kulang na iti mo na hihatag for as long as you are able to provide the basic needs of your child, it's fine. Anyway, you are working on it and you have to work more for that. Okay, so don't let financial stressors get in the way of meaningful relationships with your children. I'm a bit guilty with this kasi there are times nga naiisgan ko and sometimes naguguliatan ko ang akong anak, especially when I am too stressed with all the demands from work and from the side hustle plus ang pag-alaga pa na akong anak. Nga there are even times nga masiring nga, mama, I want you to uh to ligo me, or mama, I want you to subo me when she is eating. And napansin ko ito, when I'm too busy, that's the time nga nagkukulit nga nagsisikihin attention. So you have to be sensitive when it comes to that. Okay? So next, emotional distress. Okay. So losing a sense of self, because sometimes we are, or very good na sometimes, oftentimes we are expected to be superwoman or superman when the other parent is not involved. Okay, so after spending the day of working or studying full time, and then pag uli mo habalay or after imo klase or imo trabaho, you are doing the job of a mama or a papa at home. So it's easy to forget about taking care of yourself. Very, very easy. Nga masaring kaunahon ko nalaan na itakon mga anak or itakon anak before itakon sarili. But remember that you only have to take at least 1 hour out of the week to do something for yourself. So going for a walk, for example, or writing in a journal, something that allows you to reconnect with who you were before you become or you became a mom or a dad, a single mom or a single dad. So sharing pa nga ni, you have to take care of yourself first before taking care of others. Diba? You cannot give what you don't have. Okay. So having no one to turn to. So at the end of the day, when you are too distressed, when you are too restless, sometimes all you can turn to is imula kalugaringon. Kumbaga, at the end of the day, magtinuok ka nala and then just hug your child because you are too tired being so strong and saring pa hustling for the welfare of your child. But saring pa, children are very handful. If you have more than one, it's that much more difficult. So, usa pa lang nga ni makuri na how much more if you have two or more. So, you will have to take up the roles of both parents to raise your children. So, with that, you can probably saring pa say nga, I want to give up, but parenting or parenthood is saring pa the most difficult job in the world because it is the only job with no holidays, no time out, no breaks. Okay, so there's no tapping out. You cannot throw your hands up and say, I give up or I need a break. And with this can actually lead to parent tantruming. Yeah, diri la an imo toddler ang nagtatantrum, but sometimes si ikaw liwat mismo. And sometimes you want to shout nga, you want to say nga, pwede ako naman it magtantrum, pwede ako naman it mag-burst out. But you can't do that, especially in front of your children or your child. So what you can do is take a deep breath. You can put your child to sleep, pwede, or pwede gihapon kumbaga medyo diri pa kaya pakaturugon kay full of energy pan aton mga bata, you can just sit him or her in front of the TV. And then when you need a moment, you better go to your room and think, ginhawa, and then baga saring pa didto pagpagawas. Ayaw paguli ate kay this is the lesson that I got nga they mimic what they see, they mimic what they hear. Kasi han time nga sige ako isog han akon anak, she was 2 to 3, I noticed nga ang iya liwat behavior was similar to mine. So medyo diri maupay ang nagiging effect sa bata. Remember that siring pa tama ito nga ang nakikita ng bata ay ang maling ginagawa ng matanda ay nagiging tama sa mata ng bata. Yeah, because they are mirroring and they are actually learning through modeling. Okay. So self-doubt. So diba? Sometimes you are thinking, am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path or right track? Because you have no backup. There is no second authoritative figure to keep the children in line or your child. So it's hard to know if you're doing a good job. But when you're kumbaga in a couple, you have someone who agrees or disagrees with your methods and can help you see the merit in your positive parenting moments. And kung may daka nga ni someone with you, pwede nga ma-improve mo pat imo parenting style. Pero sa rin ko pa nga ni kanina nga, there's no handbook to parenting. It's about instinct. Okay, so find someone to share your feelings with. The best person nga pwede mo hinimaharanian is definitely your parents. Kasi they are the ones who are expert. Hini. So kung halimbawa di rin naman kaya parents, probably they are no longer here, pwede gihapon na iyo friends who are also parents or kung hino man nga parents gihapon. And actually there are a lot of groups on FB nga mga siguro parents and solo parents who can actually help you with parenting or hininga mga butang. Okay, so again, take a deep breath, cry if you have to, then get up and be the best parent that you know how to be. So, saring pa, pwede man mag-rest, pero waray choice para mag-give up. Okay? So, life goes on and life must go on. Okay. So, next is, I'm sorry ha if I'm in a hurry kaya I only have limited time. We only have limited time. Okay, so parent-student challenges. Okay, so the hardest part of being a parent or a single parent is prioritizing time and focusing on self-care. So amin nga duduha ang pinakamakuri i-juggle. So most single studying parents feel exhausted trying to hold down school activities, side hustles, and pag-ensure hanira children nga maging okay. So the very act of taking care of a baby or a toddler and work responsibilities can be very draining on different levels. So emotionally, cognitively, and even psychologically. That sometimes may da iba nga mga parents because there are a lot of problems. Kumbaga, the world is already on their back. May da iba nga nag-give up and resort to suicide. Pero again, suicide is direthiya sering pa solution to everything. I don't know if you have watched the topic of Tony Gonzaga. Ito hihas na. I am not familiar with her pero nakikita ko lang ito hiha Facebook. She actually ang tawag ito? Shared nga there was a time kun nga medyo ada nahiyahan pikhan siring pahan burden kay an iya duha nga mga anak mga may autism. So ada nahiyahan kumbaga peak of her emotions kay siguro nakukurian nahiya kay ginbayaan gihapon hiyahan duha niya nga previous relationships plus an iya last nga relationship ani katulog ginbayaan gihapon hiya. So nakadahiyahan point nga pati an paghunahuna nga patayon ang iya duha nga anak mabuta iya. Unahon niya pagpatay niya anak, and then iya naman kalugaringon. Imagine kung kaya mo ito buhaton. Never ever do that. Again, if you are too occupied, nga tanan nga mga problema or nga tanan nga imo kumbaga naaabot sa kalibutan, just take some rest, but don't give up. Okay, so time management is the key, and kasi sa ring pangani, parenting has never been harder. Waray masayon nga parenting or parenting style except na lahan iba nga ginahatag ang responsibility sa iba nga tawo or kag anak. Pero sa ring pa, a single parent is supposed to take care of the kids and provide them all by him or herself. So you have to set boundaries and goals. So paano nga klase nga mag-set kayo boundaries and goals? You have to limit or set limits. Okay, so kung halimbawa you are studying or you are still studying, you have to identify kung hain lahain mo time and para ha study, and you also have to allot time para hanin mo side hustles kaya para of course magkamay ada ka income, and majority itong imo time should be given to your child or children. So I admit nga I am guilty kay diri ito na hatag full time ha akon anak hanuna until yan actually medyo makurihiya pag balance. Pero again, for as long as you are there with your child's needs all the time, sa rin pa wala ito excuse bisan ano pa dapat imo priority is your child kasi in the first place you are doing this for him or for her. Okay, so usa nga pwede makabulig is create a to-do list and time budget plan. Yes, when you become a parent, especially if you are a solo or single parent, nagiging organized ka. You have to become organized kay everything is planned. Everything is saring pa may ada nakabox tanan kinahanglan nimo buhaton. To the point nga pag may ada nga ni magi-invite ha imo masaring ka nga kinahanglan advance it imo pag-invite ha akon so that I can set my time. So that I can schedule my time. Yeah. Kasi that's my experience. From my personal experience, when my daughter was still an infant, nagawas ako. Diri ako nagawas nga diri hiya upod. So nakakuan la ko, adila hiya naka-wrap around la hiya akon. And waray lakat nga maabotin midnight. So anak ko nadto mga lakat with my friends kun diri aga kulop kun hagabi naman kutubla 8 PM. Yeah. So you also have to change your lifestyle if you are the type nga medyo perminalakat, dadamo it mga saring pa mga ganap sa life, you have to adjust. You have to change that. Okay, so another is talk to your instructors or advisor regarding your output submissions. This is important kasi may ada iba nga nadadrop nala diri nagsasarabot ang teacher kay waray na submit, pero amo nga nito, communication is the key. You always have to talk with your advisor or your instructor. So kung diri ma-reach an instructor, pwede nga advisor para makakuha hin bulig when it comes to this. Kasi anyway, yan na very diri man hiya sugad ka makuri nga makiistorya iyo instructors kasi nakakaintindi man iton kung ano it sitwasyon naton haya na nga panahon. Okay, so you can actually do it. So pwede man nga when your child is sleeping, ada ka magtatrabahoan imo mga kinahanglan i-submit. Okay, or if your child is playing with other kids, pwede man ito. Okay, so self-care. So to be able to provide for the child, the parent often has no choice but to put in extra working hours for those who are working and for those who are studying. So therefore, balancing the professional or student life and student responsibilities and parenting is a major problem faced by single or solo parents. Yeah, very, very difficult. Okay, so what you can do is setting pangani, take care of yourself because you cannot take care of others if you don't do that. So drink tons of water, and this is actually to keep energy levels high and feel fresh from sunrise to sunset. Yeah, and by drinking a lot of water, actually damo nga sakit pwede nimo ma-prevent. And another is spend less time on the phone. Ako na sa rin, ma'am, kay amon akong business, kay ade ako, nag-online business ako. It's not an excuse. Always remember that what you do is being mirrored by your child. So, kung halimbawa nakikita ang kahit imo anak na permila ada ha cellphone, there's a tendency na bisan mag-set kahin limit ha iya or screen time limit ha iya, pwede nga sumiring ha imo nga ikaw ngani, diri ka nagsi-screen time limit. Okay? So, again, especially ini mga bata pa naman masyado tira nga mga keen observer. Okay? So, kung ano, bisang guti-guti na napapansin ito nira. So you have to be careful with your actions. Okay, next is take small rest breaks during the day. Yeah, don't feel guilty kung nag-rest ka kasi you need that. You need that to have energy also to do the other responsibilities. Okay, so find time to exercise. Bisan diri man inihiya na himo talaga and among pinakamakuri. So actually, there are a lot of ways para makapag-exercise. So you incorporate fitness into everyday routines such as kids play dates or taking the little ones to school, or siguro magsiset ka nga pagtikadi ka ha school, or kung pag may daka paraliton mag take a walk bisan la pera ka minutes. Okay, so another is take your children or your child out. So this is very important, especially haya na nga pandemic nga they are too confined in the four corners of your house. So iba it naging behavior hit bata. So it's always important that you take them out. May naman mga parks. Okay? So, pwede man la iton makapagmulay it kabataan bisan pa there are other kids there. It importante la social distancing and always sanitize. So, amo man la itot imo kinahanglan. Let them run, let them swim kasi it's very important. So, bisan pa sid ngun nga di dalat gawas it iyo balay as long as it is fenced. It's okay. So, last is manage stress. So, how can I manage stress? Ma'am, it's very difficult man. So, understand that taking care of yourself is important. And if you don't take care of yourself, again, you cannot take care of others. And by that, it imo maibubulig it imo kalugaringon is to manage stress. Kay hangatanan nga butang it nakaka-add up or nakaka-fuel is actually stress. So how are you going to do that? Take everything easy. So don't get pressured. Kumbaga masaring ka nga agi nga tanan kadadamo nagdududrungan hiya. Again, ang pinaka-mantra nila is take a deep breath. Okay? And always think nga, you can actually do it. Basta kinahanglan lang nga maghinay-hinay la. Diri nga masyado nga pressure mo iti mo kalugaringon. So, be kind to yourself. Okay. There. And the last one is actually social stigma. So, actually, amo inhiya at nakakaruba talaga. Haungudla. Among the 5, amo inhiya at major concern. Kasi, hikita nga, bisan hikita mismo nga mga solo parents or single parents, hikita mismo actually it naguhuna-huna, bisan waray pa ginhuna-huna ang iba. Okay, so many single mothers experience emotional pain and confusion about how others will view them. Yeah, I am focusing on single mothers or the mothers kasi in a society with double standard, ito tira huna-huna eh. Kung halimbawa, lalaki ang nagiging solo parent, they have high regard to them. Pero, kung babae nga ni, single moms or solo moms, kumbaga, are viewed as sexually promiscuous, carrying too much baggage, selfish, and they aren't able to meet job demands due to needs of children. Nga, aside hini madamo pa itong nga klase nga discrimination, damo nga labeling it ginahatag as single moms. Especially pag nakikita nila nga medyo masuro sexy it solo hit solo parent or it single parent, dayon ito nga i-judge. Probably this lady is very promiscuous or yeah, kaya siya siguro nga nagburod. Okay, so a lot of people dagos lang nga nagli-label bisan diri haraman ko na anot story. Okay, so moms today are criticized for being too involved and not involved at all. Iton, dili ka maaram kung hain ka malugar. If you have, kumbaga, if you allot your time too much on working or studying, masinghera nga, dili ka maupay nga nanay or dili ka maupay nga parent because it imo lagi hunahuna is yourself. Okay, when in fact, asya ka nagtatrabaho, di ba, para makapag-provide. Pero kung halimbawa naman you focus on your child or on child rearing, masingduwa tira, masyado nga dependent ka kag anak or diri naguhuna-huna para han future. So there, diri ka maaram kun haing ka malugar. So moms who work a lot are shamed for missing out on time with their kids, and while moms who don't work are called lazy. So amo iragin si Siring. So there is actually no universally accepted vision of what a mom's life looks like. Amo ito nga nasa ring, don't listen to them. In the first place, waray hira amo. Okay, so always remember that you have to decide on your own and don't listen to them kay wala itira mabubulig hain. Okay, so another is guilt. So single mothers often struggle with feeling guilty. And as human beings, every person is entitled to feel emotions, both good and bad. Ito kanina na akong din-mention. So, guilt in small doses is a sign of your love and can actually push you to be a better person. However, too much guilt can cause you to isolate, lose yourself, and make poor decisions. So if you are feeling overwhelmed by guilt, consider speaking with a professional counselor. So you students, you can always coordinate with our guidance counselor. Anyway, may adak kita and they are willing to help. Di ba, Ma'am Rina? Okay, so what you can do actually is to take away or the guilt feeling that you have, probably one, taking away the experience of the family. This was actually the first thing that I felt before. Na am I being too selfish for not giving my child the experience of having a real or a whole family? Pero I brushed that thought away because I have my family with me. Na kumbaga, it may not be the conventional setup of a family, but we can still call our family as family. Okay? So, another is working too much. So, most single mothers are utterly sick of the motherhood and guilt rhetoric. So, especially working and studying single moms or dads. Okay, so they often feel like they're forever coming up short when it comes to doing enough for their kids. Kasi feeling naton 24 hours is not enough for us to do everything. Kaya you have to remember that you are not a superhero, and you have to remember nga you are a solo parent. Okay, you are a solo parent or you are a single parent, and bisan pa sad ngun nga you are expected to do everything at once. It's very impossible because you are only human. Okay? So another is change in income level and lifestyle. If your lifestyle before is kumbaga sugad kahini masyado waldas dito, you have to change that. Kasi magigilty ka talaga. Pero it's okay naman liwat to spend a little, kumbaga to allot a budget for yourself ganman liwat. So ayaw liwat pagwad ani mo kalugaringon on the process of siring pa being a solo parent or a single parent. So although you have a small income or a minimal income, for as long as you have an income and you don't depend too much financially speaking ha ibang tao, especially ha imo parents, then don't feel guilty. As long as you are doing your part, it's okay. Siring pangani, it's okay to ask for help, a little help from others. Okay? So another is children's emotions, especially in your children's emotions, it has something to do with, for example, couple who separated. So kumbaga ang emotions sa iyo children han time nga nagbulag ang kag anak. Pero kung halimbawa ang reason man ng separation is very valid, then siguro may isip mo nga it's better to raise the child alone than to be in a toxic relationship. It will definitely affect the behavior of your child. Kasi di ba may iba, they stick together or they are being with the kumbaga the father or the mother of the child for the sake of providing or giving a complete family. Pero we are already in ano na ba yan at generation. So, di rin ito yan nagmamatter kasi what matters most is your child's welfare. So, your child will definitely understand hitong nga setup. Probably hayana, diri pa man ito maintindihan. Pero eventually, the child will definitely understand. Siguro ang may himuhini is to have an agreeable setup if you are still in contact with the other parent. Probably magkamay adalahin mo upay nga setup about this. So, hating your ex-partner is not helpful actually. Siguro maging civil for the sake of the child. Civil nga part nga kung kareg niya dito or nga dihain mo kumbaga suga dito para at least nag-co-parenting ka mo. Okay? Pero kung waray talaga as in tawag gini, missing in action ang usa nga kag-anak, then you have to explain to your child an setup niyo. And I even read a post of Bettina Carlos. I don't know if you are familiar with her. She's actually married now, pero she's been a single mom for probably 7 or 8 years. And she said that there will come a time that you really have to prepare for your child's questions. May ada ito pattern it irapagod questioning. They will start asking, masering nga, where is my father or where is my mother? And you have to be prepared with your answer. And you have to consider an ira age kung paano ang level of their understanding. Then pag iba na lang ito nga age level, mapakiana ito nga, kung masering nga, di ba, where is my father? It next ito nga pakiana, masaring ko ito nga, where is my father? Okay? So, kung kay ano nga, kung ano imo pagbaton nito, you have to be creative, pero don't make up stories. You have to explain to your child sari pa step by step. Kasi eventually, itpakiana hiton, why is he not here? Again, you have to explain it to him or her nga, han level nga maiintindihan niya nga mo dapat istorya consistent diri nga mag-iiba-iba kay to avoid confusion kasi it may nanabuhiton kung diri mo istoryahan hin eksakto it imo anak haiba ito magbibiling hin baton and iba it magiging effect hiton pwede nga maging rebellious especially at teenage years. So it's better to talk to the child and explain to the child kung ano it set up niyo. Okay, so that was actually my fear kasi umabot na ako han part nga who and where. Okay, so pero na-explain ko man and so far nakakaintindi. Actually, itong mga inihirang mga bata, nakakagets ito, nakakaintindi ito. They are very sensitive. Okay? So, you just have to explain it to them. And then, siguro, right time, when they can already understand the whole situation, i-explain mo Ira. And if they want to, kung halimbawa man, waray talaga, missing in action talaga, usa nga kag-anak, kung halimbawa, they ask you kung pwede nila makita or pwede nila makilala, you have to give that to them kasi it's their right. Okay? So, ayaw pag masyado pag-focusan imo kauriton or han imo pride. Pero kung asya ito at karawiyag hit bata, you have to give it to them. It's their right. Okay. So, another is dating and romantic relationships. Ini. So, if you're dating, consider the impact your new romantic partner will have on your child. Look for a partner who will treat both you and your child with respect. So consider waiting until you've established a solid relationship with someone before introducing him or her to your child. Iba-iba ini kasi hiya it level and iba-iba ini experience naton ng mga solo parents, especially ang mga babae. I don't know ha part han lalaki ha, pero based on my experience, I never kumbaga got the interest to date and to be in romantic relationships. Not because I am too focused aside han fact nga busy ako Hindu that I don't have time to go out and meet other people. The fear of kumbaga siring not accepting the situation is there. Nga masaring nga waray na maruruyag ha akon because I have an excess baggage. it was at the back of my mind, pero diri adto amo na akong concern. The concern was, I was afraid to be in a relationship kay diri ako sigurado ha, evil mind gad odog, pero ito nga nakikita ko like maala-ala mo kaya so ganito nga nahadlok ako nga bangin the guy is just too good when I am with him tapos mahimuon nga evil na sa akon anak, especially that my child is a girl. So amo to na ko na hunahunaan. So that is why I got no interest in dating and romantic relationships before. Okay. So when you're ready to make the introduction, explain to your child some of your new partner's positive qualities. Don't expect your new partner and your child to become close immediately. However, give them time to get to know each other and be clear that the new partner isn't trying to replace the other parent, especially if separated la ang parents. So make sure nga ang imo anak imo luwat explainan before mo i-introduce ang imo new partner. And it's a lot of work kasi diri nga tanan talaga makaka-accept. Good thing kung ma-accept. And swerte ka nga matatawag na para imo bago nga partner iga-accept ang imo child as his or her own. Kay especially kung ang imo new partner is single or single, wala talaga attachment bis ano. So that's very difficult. Okay. So, yeah, dating and romantic relationships. Diri hiya para hatanan. May iba na go up to just be alone for the rest of their lives or ang iba naman nagsisik in romantic relationships probably for companionship, of course. Diri nala siguro han co-parenting pero han concept nga by adanira someone to lean on or someone to talk to when they are too exhausted. Okay. And finally, we have blame and responsibility. So give yourself a break. You'll make mistakes as a single parent, but don't beat yourself up. Remember that. So ask for help when you need it and move on. So the only person who expects you to be perfect is actually yourself. So wala kayo ibang kalaban, iti mo lang kalugaringon. You are pressuring yourself. So again, you have to give yourself a break. And you have to accept that parenting isn't a competition and there is no right or wrong way to parent or to be a parent. So remember that. Kasi may iba nga kuan nga you feel as if kulang bisan ang imo ginahatag naman is enough or more than enough just because you have standards nga imo ginset para imo kaligaringon as a parent. Okay? So chill, relax. So you know what you are doing and you are doing great. So always remember that. And you have to learn to live in the moment. You have to cherish the moment. And sa rin pa kung ano man it may ada kaya na just cherish that. And take time for yourself again and again. And finally, you have to connect with like-minded parents. Okay? Kay it will help. It will help boost your sa rin pa your confidence being a parent. Okay? So, amulad to. Gimpahalipot ko na hinduro-duruhan kay para lang mag-isakto. So, if you have other kumbaga rin pa experiences or kung may dalawat na mo i-share, pwede man natin i-share din yan ha aton open forum. Pero based on my research and based on experience, these are the 5 common challenges that we solo parents actually encounter. It's very difficult pero look at me, I'm still here standing and being strong kasi you have no choice.